Warning, the following images you are about to see were not drawn by a third grader and may cause mild headaches, heart failure, and or melting eyeballs. Viewer discretion is advised.
Now that I got all the non-combat 99s, it was time to go all in and max out. Usually when you start out something like that, you don't know where to start first. I was already 92 hit points or constitution or whatever the fuck you want to call it these days, so I figured that's where I'd start. Which obviously turned out to be a waste of time because I could have just gotten 99 through training my other stats, but fuck logic, who needs that shit? I decided I would get 99 through Soul Wars. I thought it was a good idea since training HP was about 1/3 the XP per hour than normal combat stats, so I thought it was more efficient to just do Soul Wars, ignoring the fact that if I did Slayer, not only would I get HP XP, but I would also get Slayer XP and XP in other combat stats. Again, logic has never been one of my strong points. So I headed off to Soul Wars. I quickly became a fan favorite amongst the Soul Wars clan I joined, because I was always in the friends chat since I would play a fuck ton every day, and I've always been a social person. Not to mention the fact that the moderators of the chats always had to look up stats to make sure people fit the requirements to be in it, and they felt the need to point out that I was max non-combat every time. It was a pretty long process to get 99, and it quickly became super, and I mean super repetitive. It was extremely boring because the most competition involved wasn't even in the game itself, because you knew if you got on the right team, you was gonna win. It was after the game, racing to be the first one in the right color pin, because if you didn't get in quick enough, you most likely weren't getting in that game because of all the bots. So after like 2 weeks, I believe I finally managed to rack up enough zeal for 99 HP, and of course I got it. It was around this time that Dungeoneering had come out, and I was pretty reluctant to be one of the first amongst my friends to get 99. It was pretty hard to find a team for Dungeoneering though, because most of the teams that were hardcore training were already maxed out with max combat and all that, and I was still remotely low level. And so I made it to around 70, then I decided I needed to get up my combat levels if I wanted to go any further with Dungeoneering. Besides, they had already confirmed that there was going to be more floors, and at the time there was only 35. More floors meant higher prestige, and that in turn meant more XP. So I figured it would be more efficient to get my combat up in the meantime. First time I ever thought anything logical. So of course the best way to train my combat would be through Slayer, since I wanted to fully max out anyways, and I needed 99 Slayer to do that. I think I had like 60 something Slayer, and the only reason I had that was for some quest that I did forever ago. I always dreaded Slayer and just combat in general, and I never knew why, so I definitely wasn't looking forward to it at all. But I knew if I wanted to max out completely, it just had to be done. So I got down to business and started preparing myself for the task ahead. I bought a shit ton of prayer potions and made several hundred extreme potions. I didn't use overloads because I got 99 herb lore before they released, and I've always been super frugal, so I did the cheapest way and it was moderately efficient. And after doing that, I set off to get a Slayer task, and I got super serious about Slayer.